Stephanie White, you are a joke.
Stephanie White forcing Caitlin Clark to learn a new system.
This is ridiculous.
You know, it's a different group. While system might still be very similar, it's a different group.
Indiana Fever unfortunately hired a snake oil saleswoman.
Stephanie White is going to be exposed as a fraud as a coach.
That's not good.
Stephanie White just said the quiet part out loud, and it sent shockwaves through the WNBA. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 83% of viewers still haven't subscribed. It's completely free, only takes a second, and it truly means a lot to us. So, have you subscribed yet? Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the video.
That's not good to hear.
You can't come in here and try to change Caitlin Clark, the person. They don't want Caitlin Clark to do Caitlin Clark no more.
The most captivating rookie in league history, Caitlin Clark, has officially stepped away from the system. That's not speculation. It's not just frustration from fans. According to this narrative,
Stephanie White speaking about Caitlin Clark actually learning this new system. I mean, personally, I feel like she's forcing Caitlin Clark.
And everything has changed. From the moment Caitlin Clark was drafted, the vision seemed clear. Build the team around her, give her the freedom to play her game, and let her transform the sport. But now, Stephanie White is asking her to adapt to a system that takes away many of the qualities that made her unstoppable at Iowa.
He's forcing her hand into making her learn this new offense. Listen to what she had to say.
There's so many things that go into, and I'm talking about being happy personally. Like, I want her to be happy personally. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. You know, it's a different group. While system might still be very similar, it's a different group, and you know, things are happening quickly, and being able to mesh. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think
the freedom and fast pace are gone, and with them, the Indiana Fever's identity seems to be fading as well. What Stephanie White just revealed is not only surprising, but it could also be a major risk. Because if Caitlin Clark no longer fits within the system, then the entire system comes into question. From the very beginning, Caitlin Clark was never just another draft pick. She was the foundation, the player the franchise was built around.
Caitlin Clark is the needle.
Caitlin Clark is the star. Everything else is wrapped around her, and everything else is revolving around her. She's Rookie of the Year in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is the star player of the WNBA.
A once-in-a-generation athlete whose skill set practically said, "Build around me." She was selected first overall by the Indiana Fever, promoted on national media tours, and presented to fans as the centerpiece of a fast, modern, up-tempo offense that would redefine the franchise.
If she wants them to turn into she wants them to be old WNBA.
We're not going to peak too early, so I mean, that's a positive. But I think it's not an excuse. Everyone's playing a back-to-back.
That was supposed to ignite the WNBA. But now, Stephanie White has completely flipped the script. Fans were stunned when she revealed that Caitlin Clark is no longer the centerpiece of the system.
Fans is not happy with everything that has been transpiring with Caitlin Clark.
We are stuck watching an elementary school offense because Stephanie White is in over her head.
Think about that for a moment. The same player who packed arenas across the country, shattered viewership records, and led the team in assists is now being slowly moved away from the center of the offense. Stephanie White says Caitlin is being asked to learn the system because she wants more structure.
To me, y'all don't want Caitlin to be Caitlin. Y'all are old guard coaches. This is an old guard coaching staff.
In reality, though, she's limiting the very player who is expected to transform this franchise. Instead of letting Clark take control, push the pace, and create opportunities, White is turning her into more of a passive participant within the offense.
Caitlin Clark, plasters over all the cracks. She realistically plasters over all the cracks of this team. This team is not structured well.
Instead, Natasha Howard is bringing the ball up the floor, while Clark is left standing at the top of the key as a spot-up shooter. The offense is no longer running through Clark. Both her body language and the scoreboard suggest she's watching the game slow to a crawl.
We got all the chess pieces, but we have somebody who knows how to play checkers and not chess. 4 games in a row, we've had a double-digit lead, and we've lost the game.
Fans were promised the Iowa version of Caitlin Clark, Quick decisions, explosive pick and rolls with Aaliyah Boston, relentless pace, aggressive drives, and elite court vision. They expected Clark to push the tempo and make spectacular passes. Instead, they're watching a slow, grinded-out, outdated offense that feels like it came straight from a 2010 WNBA playbook. One analyst summed it up perfectly. They drafted a Ferrari and insisted on driving it in first gear. The offense hasn't struggled because Caitlin Clark suddenly forgot how to play. It's struggling because she's being asked to fit into a system that was never designed to maximize her extraordinary talent.
Stephanie White is going to be exposed as a fraud as a coach. She didn't assemble that team. She inherited that team. Just like she inherited Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell.
The player is not the problem. The philosophy is. And if Stephanie White doesn't make adjustments quickly, this season and all the momentum surrounding this star could slip away.
It makes no sense to me. It makes me feel like you're more worried about the people who've been here for years and them getting some kind of shine. That's costing us games.
Although Stephanie White describes her approach as structured, many see it as overly restrictive. Instead of progress, Indiana appears to be moving backward. Caitlin Clark has gone from being the engine of a dynamic offense to playing a supporting role in a slower, more traditional system that limits many of her greatest strengths. Rather than running the offense, she's often left waiting for it to come to her.
Lisa Bluter did warn about this, bruh. She warned. You have to let her do what she does. That is part of her great.
And taking the ball out of the hands of a generational point guard is about more than changing tactics. It's about taking away her identity. This isn't just a theory. It's happening right in front of us. When Caitlin attacks downhill, runs pick and rolls with Aaliyah Boston, creates freely, and pushes the pace, the Fever come alive.
Whose idea was it to bring these old dinosaurs and put them on this roster?
They look like a connected team with direction, rhythm, and purpose. But the moment they fall back into White's slow, half-court style of play, the offense stalls. The spacing collapses, and the ball movement disappears.
You can't come in here and try to change Caitlin Clark, the person.
Meanwhile, Caitlin becomes little more than a decoy, standing by as teammates who aren't natural playmakers force difficult, low-percentage shots, and broken offensive possessions.
Can't believe Caitlin Clark used her like this.
It look like the fans is sick and tired of Stephanie White and this damn motion offense.
And who exactly is this system built for? Natasha Howard is a veteran who struggles to push the pace, lacks urgency on defense, and isn't at her best in transition. Victoria Vivians has spent game after game taking low-percentage three-pointers without much consistency or efficiency. And Sydney Colson has become known as much for her personality off the court as for her contributions on the offensive end.
We have our own islands, and I understand on every single team.
This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands.
Now watch this. Now, did y'all see the coach grab her? Watch this. Y'all see this? Wow. Why is she grabbing her? For getting the crowd hype like she ain't supposed to do that. Look at how she grabbing. Look at the hand on the arm. Hold up, wait up. Man.
If you agree with Caitlin Clark, leave CC Rocks in the comments. Right now, the Fever are playing some of the slowest basketball in the league. Every game feels like a battle against Caitlin's natural ability to create offense. As possessions drag on, the shot clock winds down and the energy fades. And it's not just Caitlin paying the price. The entire team is feeling the effects. Opposing defenses don't seem as concerned about her as they were just a few weeks ago. Why? Because they know Stephanie White's system doesn't consistently put the ball in Caitlin's hands. They know the playbook slows the game down. They know she's no longer being asked to control the offense. And that's an issue that starts at the top.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. period.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
White isn't just coaching with an old-school mindset. She's relying on a system developed years ago. Critics argue that she's trying to bring a Phoenix Mercury-style playbook into a completely different situation, applying it to a roster that may not be the right fit for that approach.
Anytime Caitlin Clark's been knocked to the ground, anytime Aaliyah Boston's been punked, anytime Lexi Hull's been beat up, Sophie Cunningham's been beat up, any more concern about somebody on the other team than from her own team.
And the results speak for themselves. The team has struggled under pressure. The offense has often looked sluggish, and double-digit leads have slipped away. A roster that many expected to outrun opponents has instead looked bogged down in the fourth quarter, as if playing through quicksand.
Guys, that's where the coaches earn their money. The ability to draw it up, the ability to get wide open looks when your team is inefficient from the field. By the way, they've been inefficient from the field a lot lately.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the player many expected to orchestrate every possession, is often left standing off the ball, with many believing her playmaking abilities are being underused. Fans see it, analysts have pointed it out, and some believe even her own teammates are beginning to recognize the growing disconnect.
Stephanie White, you are a joke. You're terrible. You are terrible. How many games do we have to go by until you change the damn starting lineup?
One creator summed it up this way: Steph Curry isn't told to stop shooting. Patrick Mahomes isn't told to hand the ball off on every play. So why? Many fans ask, should Caitlin Clark be pushed into the background? They argue this isn't effective coaching. Whether intentional or not, they believe it's holding her back. If Stephanie White continues to rely on a system that doesn't maximize the player this team was built around, the Indiana Fever risk losing more than games. They could lose the confidence of their locker room, the trust of their fans, and eventually even Caitlin Clark's enthusiasm. To many observers, Clark has looked emotionally drained at times. The joy, confidence, and swagger that once defined her game seem harder to find. Instead of being the engine that drives the team, she often appears to be treated like just another piece in a system that wasn't built to showcase her strengths.
Man, if Caitlin Clark wasn't healthy today, don't even play her tomorrow. Let her continue to sit and get rest, because I wouldn't come back and fucking strain and pain to carry this.
Critics argue that Stephanie White's system feels outdated, while Caitlin Clark represents the future of the game. Instead of building the offense around her strengths, they believe Indiana is asking her to adjust, slow down, and fit into an existing structure. They see that approach as not only ineffective, but potentially damaging. Every game in which Clark is unable to fully impact the offense, they argue, chips away at confidence and momentum. If the Fever continue down this path, some believe they risk losing more than just control of the season. They risk losing the full potential of the player they built the franchise around.
This whole thing has been, we have been bamboozled as Fever fans, as Caitlin Clark fans. We have been scammed and bamboozled by Stephanie White and the entire Indiana Fever management.
And if that happens, the rebuild won't simply start over. It could take years to recover, if it recovers at all. Critics argue that while Stephanie White believes she's building a system, she's actually putting the franchise's future at risk. They see Caitlin Clark as more than just another player. They view her as one of the most compelling and transformative talents women's basketball has ever seen. Instead of giving her the freedom to lead, they believe the current approach is holding her back. Rather than building around her strengths, they're asking her to fit within the system. In their view, the offense has stalled, the chemistry hasn't clicked, and the team's culture is beginning to show signs of strain. They argue this is no longer just a coaching issue, it's an organizational one. As one analyst put it, you don't buy a Ferrari just to drive it like a tractor. And after asking fans to embrace the face of a new era, you don't leave that player standing in the corner waiting for a turn.
Anytime Caitlin Clark's been knocked to the ground, anytime Aaliyah Boston's been punked, anytime Lexi Hull's been beat up, Sophie Cunningham's been beat up, more concern about somebody on the other team than from her own team.
The problem isn't Caitlin Clark. She is the solution. And if Indiana can't recognize that, if they continue treating her as just another piece in the system instead of building the system around her, they don't deserve a player of her caliber. That's the reality. Time is running out. If the Fever continue forcing Caitlin Clark into a role that limits her impact, they won't just lose games. They risk losing the trust of their fans, their identity as a franchise, and the future they were supposed to build around.
Now watch this. Now did y'all see the coach grab her? Watch this. Y'all see this? Wow. Why she grabbing her? For getting the crowd hype like she ain't supposed to do that. Look at how she grabbing. Look at the hand on the arm. Hold up. Wait a minute.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
And as you can see, the team is kind of, going through a lot right now. And I think this is one more thing that is really shown, obviously, and is hung over this team with the personal reasons, the absences, and the lack of transparency on this. And it comes down to her not wanting to play. I kind of understand that lack of transparency, but still, they're walking into every game with that. They've got Seattle tonight. This hits right before that. So
please share your thoughts in the comments section, subscribe, and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything.